Bring it on. We can have more holidays to recharge, reset, and go back to school all refreshed. During this time, lots of our kids, teenagers, spend a lot of time on their gadgets, and screen time. And sometimes from morning to late hours of the night, they are still on their gadgets, making them couch potatoes and absolutely lazy. Well, gone are the days where children played outside. You remember playing outside, only coming inside when it was getting dark, or you needed to use the toilet, or you were like starving, hungry. Well, this doesn't exist anymore. Sports are incredibly important for children's physical and mental growth, offering numerous benefits that extend far beyond the playing field. They promote physical health, teach valuable life skills, and foster social and emotional well-being. They also boost their self-esteem, improve their focus and attention, and resist persevere. Well, let's face it, our children are growing up and in a very different time than us. While we used to go out and play all day long, especially during summer, our kids spend all day glued to the screens. But it doesn't have to be this way. With a little bit of perseverance and push, we can get our children to be active, sporty. Well, this evening we are talking about how can you get your child involved in exercise, in sports, basically to be active. And our guest this evening is Sister Nasreen Mohamed, an educator from Alphala, and also someone who does
lots of sports herself. Assalamu alaikum, Sumaya. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. It's been a while.
Very long.
So it's good to catch up. Sport is such an important thing. Being active is
Do you know what?
such an
Since you're
important
talking about that, I think 4 years ago you came on
my fitness journey.
Exactly, your fitness journey.
And there's been ups and downs.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. You're going to grow and you're going to learn as you go, and you learn about your body as you grow. So I looked at this as we as adults struggle with our fitness, finding the time, being active. It's a struggle for us. But then we have to look at our kids. And like you said, today's topic is the importance of sports for our kids.
Yeah.
If you look at kids these days, they are so involved, like you said, with their gadgets. We are developing into couch potatoes. And I feel this is a chance now to get our kids active and moving.
Yeah.
So that is why Sophie and I, one of my besties, we've created Sunshine Squad. And these are for girls specifically. I know the boys have a lot of sport out there. They have their soccer and cricket. And inshallah, we want to get the girls active and moving. So Sophie provides the smiles and I do all the talking.
Well, I brought my daughter today there to Botanical Gardens, and I was like so impressed by what you had going on. Wow, I know the kids thoroughly enjoyed it. I also saw ladies there with their children.
So a few mums did ask, when are we going to have a mums and kids session? And we said we're going to work our way up to that. But there is a planning process. We are having this, inshallah, every Saturday, Sunshine Squad. And our tagline is dream, do, dominate.
Well, this club is so different because after the end of the session, there's refreshments, there's fruit, there's snacks. Wow, that was like, really?
You have to understand the kids. It's not just do the exercise and leave. You have to understand what the kids are all about. And a lot of the time, kids are coming with anxiety, stress from school, stress from home. And you want to do a holistic development because it's not just being physically active. You got to look at mind, body, and soul. And I think that's an integral part in this.
Do you know, being an educator yourself, you can see that children are not as active as before. It's like you get the ones who extremely want to take part in sports, and then you get those who just don't bother.
A lot of them are scared and they feel a failure. A lot of them are scared and they think, oh my God, I'm going to go in there and I'm not going to know how to hold a racket or kick a ball. And with the kids in my class, I encourage them.
But what you're saying is so true. It's like we don't want to try because we're afraid that we will fail.
We're gonna fail.
Everyone's going to laugh at us. So we just don't partake in it.
So if those of you that do know me, life is all about laughing at yourself,
Yeah.
and you got to be able to fall and get up and do what you can and succeed in that way. It's not about who's watching and how many people are going to point fingers at you, because you know what's best for you.
Yeah.
The inspiration for Sunshine Squad actually came from my son, and I did get permission. He says, you can tell my story, but don't go too deep into it.
But I know your boys, I mean, I know you for quite a while, have been also very sporty. I know at one time you were a soccer mom. Are you still that?
No, I've retired. I'm now on the sideline. I've been told I'm not allowed to shout too much.
Okay.
Mom, you just sit on the side and you watch the matches. But both my boys, Zahir is 18. Soccer has been a part of him from the age of 4.
Yeah.
And it takes a toll on you as a parent, because you are the Uber driver. You are the driver, you are the meal taker, you are slicing the oranges.
Yeah.
But it came from me that if I didn't give them this opportunity, they were going to be stuck on the iPads. And trust me, after a long day, you get home and you want to be like, just leave me alone.
iPad, gadget.
Just take your iPad, go chill, let mommy have a moment. But you come to a point where you need to invest in your child's physical activity.
Yeah.
And the little one started off last year showing me that he wasn't sure where he fit into the scheme of things when it came to his physical activity. He loves soccer.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of discussion, and in December, he says, Mom, I think I want to do mixed martial arts.
Wow.
And I want cauliflower ears. I was like, have you seen how pretty your face is? I don't think cauliflower ears goes with that. But we researched, and he found a place in Durban North, Jacqueline Hyde, fitness, MMA. And my son completely transformed his mindset, how it is. We had to go off sugar at home.
Oh my
that was
God.
a struggle for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a sweet every now and then. But he was like, no, Mom, if we're going to put stuff in our body, it's going to fuel us. Because this came from the type of environment that he was in. And being with Byron at Jacqueline Hyde, who you'll introduce
Actually,
later.
Byron's going to be a guest on our show later on.
Yes, he will pop in soon. He has totally taken this child under his wing and transformed the way he sees himself as an athlete. And grappling and jiu-jitsu just brings a whole different dynamic to the way a child thinks and speaks for himself. I've noticed a change in him. We have our cheat days, because apparently if you don't have a cheat day, you go a bit insane. So grappling, jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts, apart from your social sports like soccer and cricket and paddle, it's just something that it's a lifelong skill that they have and they build. And it just brings out this whole different dynamic within that child.
Yeah. And you're also forced in a way to also be active when you think about it.
Yes. So I've actually been roped in also. Because I was sitting in the car, I was just the driver. And then they said, no, just come watch a bit and see how it is. So they are ladies.
Okay.
And these ladies are fierce. And they're not just young 20-year-olds. We have ladies in their 30s and 40s that are training. And there's different belts. And Byron will get into that, where you go up different levels and you train for so many years and you get blue belt and black belt levels and things like that. So I got in there thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Because this is like, the Khabibs of the world, and you got to know how to mix martial arts, and you got to know how to duck and dive and roll over. And I've learned a few things, that you have to start from the bottom, no matter what. But it's such a vibe and an energy that they bring to it that you feel comfortable. And I guess like the Mad Hatter said, we're all a little bit mad in here. So you just go with the flow and you do what you need to do.
And what's so nice is that parents can also get involved.
Yes.
Because generally, as you said, with the Uber drivers, we're getting up so early. You're so frustrated because like you're rushing and you feel like your day is stressed. But this time when you're taking your child, you can also
have a moment.
And also be part of that course or something similar at the same time.
It's such like a dopamine hit that you need it after a long day. And we love teaching.
Tell me, you still do your rope and tires?
I've retired that a little bit. So I took a bit of a break after surgery, and I decided, okay, let me see how my body feels and get back into it afterwards. I started running again, and I didn't realize how much I missed it. It was the 5Ks and 10Ks, and your mind's just clear and you're running. And that is another thing Sophie and I are going to get teachers involved in. You don't have to run immediately. We're going to start with a walk run. You meet up at a coffee shop, start your warm up, and then you do your little bit of a walk, and that's your morning.
And then we end the day with a massive breakfast after that.
Uh,
That's generally the case.
breakfast is the most important meal, I guess. But there's nothing wrong with your
We always have
scrambled
that
eggs.
joke. I know when friends of mine, we always used to go walking or running, and end of it, it's like we're going to some place and we're having this big, thick breakfast, and we laugh. We'll say, we just put on all those calories we lost.
Let me ask you this: does it make you guys happy?
Oh, thoroughly.
So-
Food.
So that's the best part. You just monitor what you're having. Make sure you swap your white bread for sourdough,
Yeah.
and you have your ginger shot in the morning to get your system running in a good way. So food is life. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love my food. My boys
You
know
still
that.
bake? I know you bake very well.
I do. Brownies are a hit. The kids
Yeah.
go crazy for it. You would think, okay, she bakes and now she's promoting sport.
No, I'm
Moderation.
asking you. Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah.
Moderation.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation. But we're hoping Sunshine Squad is something for the girls. And we
But I
dominate.
see you growing quite big in this, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And with your sidekick Sophie there, who doesn't want to come on air.
Sophie does the smiling,
Yeah.
and if you watch our podcast,
Yeah.
our fake podcast that we have, Sophie does all the laughing, and I
Yeah.
do the crazy talking that goes with it.
But I know the kids thoroughly enjoyed it, going with the yoga mats. They felt so important with their water bottles
Come in with your
and
bag.
small little tots, like like now we like the big people.
They loved it. They absolutely loved. You found your spot, and the best part was being out in the garden, your feet on the grass,
Yeah.
and walking about. And for some of them, it was the first time at
Exactly.
Botanical Garden.
You know what? I think, if you ask the kids in your class, how many of y'all touch grass like at least once a week? You'll be lucky.
If you get a few. And do you know how important that is to
Therapy.
just center yourself, put your feet in the sand? My happy place is the beach. Sophie
Yeah.
knows that. Everybody knows that. You just have to find nature
Yeah.
and submit yourself into that vibe and just enjoy it, because if you don't, you're just going to be stuck at a desk or doing some work and you get lost in translation.
Exactly. And you know what? I mean, this is reality, right? Generally, when Muslim women tend to do a sport or something extra, an activity, and if it's not so feminine, everyone tends to frown at you. What's your opinion on that?
Be you.
Be you. Huh?
So I spoke to a friend just before I got here, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I haven't prepared.
Yeah.
Should I just, and my friend was like, no, just be Nazi.
Yeah.
Be Nazi.
Yeah.
And I realized Nazi's an important person. She's
Yeah.
passionate. She knows what she wants. And we don't have to be cute all the time, because I go in there with straight hair
Yeah.
and I come out with a perm.
And wait a minute, the kids even came out with face paint.
Yes, because you have to make it fun. And you got to wear your heart on your sleeve. But I just,
But I think you make it fun because you are an educator, foundation face.
foundation face.
So you know, like what the kids like.
What they want, and a lot of the time was spent during the walk of just speaking and bonding. And ma'am, I did this. Ma'am, did you know this is the first time I'm here. And we spoke about the trees, and we just did like a bit of spot running here and there while we were on our walk. And the kids thoroughly
You won't
enjoyed
believe
it.
it. I actually told my husband, you know what? Maybe this week I'll take the kids to Botanical Garden just for a picnic instead of going to a mall.
Best idea.
Instead of going to a mall, because you end up sitting, eating, shopping, you're indoors, you're not
We
out.
do the same thing all the time.
Exactly.
We need to get out of our comfort zone.
And it was so safe and green and fresh, and there was security all over. It was like, it brought back memories when we were little, when we should, our parents used to cook their big pot of food.
Of
acne.
acne. Mitchell Park in Japanese garden.
Those good old days. And I'm thinking to myself, we had so less, but we did so much.
We had so much of love. There was
That's
so
it.
much love. The beach, going to the beach, and you're wrapping that
Yeah.
pot in that fabric, and you're
Yeah.
going there. But the auntie's like, you just ate. You can't swim now. You gotta wait.
Yeah. God, those were the good old days. But I think it's nice to bring all of this back, because this generation, my daughter told me, this is what I am. What is it? Gen X? What? Gen
The
Z?
Gen X. I don't know all the words. I mean,
I was like, oh my
Millennium
God.
and Boomers and Gen X and
Yeah.
all these alphabets. But
So I'm thinking to myself, end of the day, wrong is wrong, right is wrong. If you need a smack, you get a smack. It's all the different types of, but end of the day, just having fun, doing right, and taking care of your body and your health.
it's so important, because my goal is I don't want to be 50 and not be able to do a squat. 50's coming up in a few years, but I
No.
want to be able to do a
You
squat.
still look 20.
Thanks. 1 year away from 40.
Okay.
Proud of it. But you want to be able to function. You don't want to be a person in your 50s or 60s that's dependent on
And you know
someone else.
what? Generally, our mentality as women, we feel like, okay, now we're aging, we're going to look a certain way, we're going to act a certain way, So let us just accept it
and
But
go
we-
with that.
exactly.
That's how it's going to be when you grow old, and you're just going to go through the process of 50, 60, 70. But we forget that what we do for ourselves now is what we're going to be happy with future self. Your future self is going to be so happy when you give yourself what you need.
Wow. And then they say if you feel good and look good, then everything's good.
Oh, yes.
Everything's good. It's like dressing up, and if you don't have what you like, you don't feel like you want to go by anyone.
You just want to stay in your PJs and stay in your bed. That kind
Exactly.
of that kind of energy. But once you get yourself out there and you're happy, but it comes from within. You can be tiny, slim, but if you're not mentally happy with yourself, because you got to love yourself from the inside before you
True.
do anything else.
That's so important. Well, our other guest just arrived here looking all muscular and bulky, and like he just came from gym. Byron, thank you for coming to School Matters.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Basically, we just want to sap out all your energy, your advice, just to look good. In a nutshell.
We're just holding space for you.
Just waiting for me.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about you and all that you do?
So I run a gym in Durban North.
Okay.
I started the gym up during COVID. So I ran it from my house, from a
Wow.
little double garage that's now expanded. But yeah, so I teach classes. I've got private clients. And yeah, just help people.
So you're also a personal trainer.
Yeah, personal
Okay.
trainer.
Okay. And I believe you also took part in competitions. Tell
Yeah.
us more about that. That is a motivation on its own for
Yes.
the children, even for us.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I know people who ran comrades who never thought they'll do it. And they did it because they were encouraged by someone. But they did it. They made it. They completed it. So tell us a little bit about the competitions you have taken part in.
So that's
over the years.
also, Jack, prior to COVID, I did a lot of competitions from
Yeah.
boxing and Muay Thai and MMA and grappling competitions. And it's a lot of fun. And it's a lot of mental achievements because you're training hard and you're going up against other people, and it just seems like an impossible task until you do it, and then you realize that you are capable of doing it. And you're capable of putting that work in, and then the results come from that. And you also see that when you don't put the work in, the results don't really go your way.
Exactly.
And it's just, that, and then discipline just comes from there, and it's just a nice foundation.
When you think about it, everything is so disciplined. The diet, your training sessions. You're basically teaching a child to be responsible.
Yeah.
And if you want that end result or that goal, you have to do the steps. You can't just go there.
Definitely.
You can't just go there. Nasreen was saying something about jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu and
Yeah.
grappling, which whatever Byron says is
Yeah.
golden. Like how teachers' words
Yeah.
are golden at school. So
Okay.
if Byron said it, my boys follow it.
Okay, and you follow it too.
I try my best.
Okay, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so the jiu-jitsu as well is it's another form of martial arts.
Okay.
And also another great discipline. That's more of the grappling side, learning how to pin someone and control them and get out of horrible positions. And basically go to submission.
Yeah.
But also just great for your body. You just learn how to be mobile, learn how to get a little bit physical and stronger, and just learn how to get comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Tell me, how old do you start this, or how young can you be if you're a child?
Like the best age for like learning is like 5 onwards.
Wow.
The younger they are, they just adapt so well. You got to make it like in a playful way so that they don't feel like they're forced to do it. And you just see them, they develop so quickly. Like the older you are, and it's harder to fix.
You are the harder it is to follow.
Generally you'll think like, oh, my child is so young, they're 5 years, they're 7 years. Wait for them to get bigger, and then that's the general mentality. I'm
Yeah.
stereotyping here, but everyone has, because we don't want them to get hurt or have an injury. You say no, earlier is
No.
better.
Yeah, at that young age, they barely get injured. Their bodies are
Resilient.
Yeah, so
Resilient.
resilient. Like,
So just to come in there,
Yeah.
there was a tournament at Glenwood
yeah,
Prep
that's
this
what-
weekend,
Okay.
and Jade, one of the girls that we grapple with, she showed me a video of one of the younger girls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she was dominating ladies that were twice her age in
Yeah,
size. So
yeah.
you can just tell us a bit about that and how amazing she was. Because
Yeah. I
I
think
was surprised.
she's 10 years old, somewhere around there, and
Wow.
she's grappling against
A 10-year-old.
yeah,
A 10-year-old.
yeah.
Yes, it's
She doesn't
amazing.
have some spirit or something. A 10-year-old. Wow.
And she's a world champ. She went up against fully grown adults in their 30s and 40s, and she won the gold. She beat them. She's smaller than them, younger than them. She was just so confident. She wasn't nervous. She wasn't tired. She just got in there, got the job done, and she just you look at her and you're like, wow, I wish I was like that as a kid,
Inspiration.
and I want to make kids like that. My kids must be like that. Like,
Yeah.
and she's physically like capable of whatever, but also just a seems soft spoken and not violent.
So
or
she must
anything.
have started quite young.
5.
Definitely,
5.
yeah.
There you go. 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
It's
the
like,
beginning.
yeah. And, like for parents out there who want to get their children involved, because generally it's just the basic sports.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not for us. We start stereotyping. No, it's for those and for them and not for us. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and the moment they start, they realize how amazing it is, and they're hooked from the beginning. But a lot of parents are like, "Oh, is my child gonna get hurt, or are they gonna be bleeding and get black eyes?" And it's none of that. The kids are gonna come. They're gonna have the best time ever. They're gonna have a physical workout without even realizing they're doing a physical activity, and they're gonna go home. They're happy. They're gonna sleep well.
Knockout sleep.
Knockout sleep.
Knockouts.
And be a little bit stiff the next day at the worst. Like and they're gonna want to go back and train. It's just the parents. A lot of parents, I don't know, old school martial arts or something. They believe they're sending their kids somewhere that they're gonna get
But
beaten
I
up.
mean, when Nasreen told me when you were not here, I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Because we're not educated in all these martial arts and kung fu. We know kung fu and karate. No, that is the truth. And if we Google something,
Then
Mr.
you
Google.
pick it up.
Exactly. So what does jiu-jitsu, pronounce it?
jiu-jitsu.
Wow, so I just said it right.
So-
What does it entail, like the whole discipline of it?
So there's a lot of different ways. Some gyms and schools would do it in the gi, where they grade you. You start from a white belt, and you work your way up to being a black belt. We focus a little bit more on the no gi, so you wear normal, ordinary training clothes.
So those are terminologies.
Gi, yeah.
Explain it to us.
The gi is like almost like that karate outfit, like the,
okay.
with the full. You got the long
Yeah.
pants and the
And
little
what color
jacket.
belt? We can use any color belt.
So you start with the white,
I'm a white.
a white belt.
Yeah.
Goes white, blue, purple, brown, black. So
Yeah.
you
Move
work
up.
your way up the system, and and if you don't do the gi, I advise people not to do the gi, because you don't want to be holding onto a jacket. You want to learn how to do stuff without all the extra things to grab onto. And it's also just a great foundation, because from there, it's also to tell parents, here your child's not going to get punched in the head or punched in the face. All they're going to be doing is grappling each other. And I think that's a nice place, a good foundation to get your kids started on, if you still fear the boxing and the kickboxing
When you
side.
think about it, reality is our children need to learn to be responsible and to fend for themselves.
Yes.
And especially, we're not saying South Africa is a bad country, but like living in South Africa, they need to be strong,
Yes.
resilient. And this is like a good form.
Yeah, because also, like, you're taught to always stand up for yourself, and people say, if someone's doing this, you must like stand up for yourself. But what if you physically can't? And
Exactly.
you need to be taught that too. Sometimes a bully can bully you, and then you say, please stop it, and then they get physical, and you've never been taught the physical side. It's not about hurting other people, but you can't just tell someone to stop it or please stop it. Sometimes you physically have to defend yourself, and if you don't know how, you're going to actually get hurt.
And this is a reality. I mean, when you think about it, just case it in, there are so many cases of bullying, and we have lost a few learners
From it.
from it, and that's really
Yeah.
scary. And I know the debates happen if that child knew how to defend themselves physically. We're not promoting it to fight back. They could have still been alive.
100%.
I think with learning mixed martial arts, you have the knowledge of what you need to do, but you also know that you don't use it. It's not just
Discipline.
I know how to fight, so I'm going to pick on anyone, or
Yeah.
if I need to fight, I feel confident enough to just knock someone out. So on the drive here, I asked Shahid also. I was like, so just give me like an idea of what do you feel afterwards. He's like, I feel mentally strong. When I get into the car after having a session at the gym, he's like, I feel confident, I feel mentally strong, and I know that I can take on life. That was the huge thing for me because he struggled a bit last year, and then he was like, okay, let's find this. We're going to do this. And he really just pushed through with it. So I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Really proud. The smell's also lovely after an hour with you guys. Yeah, the smell's lovely. You've got to crack open the window on the way home.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to get some extra soap today. But they had a solid workout. I can tell you on the first session, I don't think I shared this with Byron, but on the first session that he ever had, he jumped into the car and I was like, how was it, Bubs? Like, did you have a good session? He's like, Mom, I don't think I've ever trained before in my life. This was the first time I felt like I did a workout. I said, I told you soccer is not life.
Yeah.
So all the coaches, don't shoot me for that. But he's really grown.
You know, since you're mentioning that, like if you ask any child, especially in primary school, what do you want to become? Do you want to be a soccer
Yes.
a soccer player, professional? And then like, I think I am like this realist and I just bust their bubbles. I say, that's very good, but you need to study or do something else, because if you look at the millions of children or the hundreds of thousands of children, how many get chosen?
True. Especially in our country, it's not.
And especially like with us in SA, a lot of children when they like are done with school or in high school or even primary schools, they tend to collect money to go play overseas. And the parents' expectation is so high. My child's going to be this professional soccer player, but 9 out of 10 times nothing happens.
It's a sad reality.
That's the truth.
I know my one said the same thing. I'm going to be a professional soccer player. And he used all these words. I don't want to say the wrong thing. All the soccer fans will come for me, like UEFA this and La Liga or something to that effect. And I said, listen, soccer is social. I love you. You're going to make it in life somewhere. I said, you have more chance of getting to the Olympics with the jiu-jitsu. So let's stick with that. But they have to study. They have to know that. And it's not your basic anymore where you have to be doctor, lawyer, accountant kind of a thing.
True.
There is a whole new scope for what the world has for our
We
kids.
might not even have a job in a couple of decades to come if we're still alive.
The robots will take over. AI will take over.
But you guys saw videos. They look so darn real. Like, is it real or is it...
Can you imagine a robot taking over a class, like 25 learners that are hopped up on a hot chocolate day?
Wait, you're saying 25 private school. Imagine in a government school, 50, 55, almost 50
I did
learners.
my time there. I loved it, but I'm really happy with my small numbers.
I would like to see how they control discipline. What do they do? Is it like Transformers?
We're going to put them in jiu-jitsu. We're going to send all of them.
Exactly. But oh God, that'll be like a whole different topic on its own.
That's a whole new show.
Yeah.
Discipline.
And Byron, which school did you go to, and did you have any influence when you were younger?
So I grew up in Durban North, so I went to Northwood. I also played the school sports. And I started doing a little bit of boxing while I was in school.
Okay.
And I just enjoyed it from there. But you get so caught up in school and assignments, and you have to play a sport for the school, that I didn't focus on it too much, and I wish I did. But yeah, it's just, you need it, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
he's wearing headphones, Nasreen, so I don't know whether he got the cauliflower ears.
no
no cauliflower ears. I did message him because Shahid was like, I'm going to get cauliflower ears. I was like, Byron said, relax. It's not going to happen.
Do you know, way back when I was younger, I should be so fascinated. Like, why do rugby players all look like that? Like, we never really think what it was. And like what is it? You know, because when you're younger, you don't know how it's formed, you know, by
it's
punching. And there's cauliflower ears, real cauliflower ears.
When you watch the matches and you see where they fight and the blood stains on the floor, and I looked at it and Shahid's like, I'm going to do this. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you can do this, Nasreen. It's okay. Let the child explore. You're not going to keep him in cotton wool, wrapped up in cotton wool all his life. I'm really grateful for Jacqueline Hyde, for Byron, because my kid is in a fitness journey.
Yeah.
That's not just, I'm going to teach you, you're going to go home. It's like a little family.
And now, since you're talking about a fitness journey, when you think about life, everything is easy and quick, and we're on our gadgets. So we're not really walking, or there's no movement. We just sometimes, if we want to go out, we're going out to eat. If we want to go out, we're going out for coffee. If we're going out, we're going out. It's like we're not active, it's just going home, going out, doing your thing and coming back. And this is a nice way for them as they grow as adults to know that health is so important, exercise and health. Well, we'll take a short ad break and we'll continue.
We'd love to meet you. Pay us a visit. Radio Balance.
The chaos and destruction in the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
This Rabiul Awal, perform your Umrah with Show Mirage Travel from the 1st to the 14th of September 2025. Enjoy 6 nights in Medina and 6 nights in Makkah with full guided ziyarats. Flights from Johannesburg, visa, medical insurance, top hotels, all included. Prices from just 25,999 per person sharing. Personally escorted by the Show Mirage Travel team. Call 031 208 4222 or visit miragetravel.co.za. Show Mirage Travel, your trusted name in sacred journeys.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to School Matters. Yes, today we got a very energetic show. I feel like jumping. I feel like wearing boxing gloves. It's like feeling empowered. We have Nasreen Mohamed, an educator from Al Falah College, and also the manager of Sunshine Club, that is. And we also have Byron from Durban North. He's a personal trainer, and he also does classes in jiu-jitsu. Wow.
I love how you said it.
Well done. Well done. Yeah. It's like, your tongue just rolls.
With it.
Yeah. And we were talking about, the reality, how to get our kids involved, because not every child can be a soccer player. You were touching on the importance of children, especially the youth, being involved in sports, because generally when they're not involved in extramurals, they tend to do other extramurals.
Yes. Yeah. That's the other thing about the martial arts, is it gives you great discipline. It's a clean lifestyle.
Mm.
You're not just focusing on how hard you're training, you're focusing on what you're taking in your body. You can't be taking other sorts of substances that make you feel terrible the next day, or make you miss training sessions or have bad training sessions. You constantly are aware of how your body feels, and you always want to be at a good level where you can peak in training and not be having flat or down days. You just focus a lot on your
So it's
nutrition.
discipline. That's so important. So it is like that famous karate Miyagi, where they say
Wax on, wax
wax
off.
off. So it is that. It is real.
And I think it's we want to be motivated, but you don't have motivation every day. And I learned that this month, because I started this month, where discipline is the key. If you're not disciplined, Byron posted a picture on was it on your feed? And it's something to the what was it again?
I can't even remember.
It was something about your body doesn't need rest. It needs to be active, and then you'll have like your dopamine.
Yeah.
And I sent him, I was like, fine, I'm coming to training. You don't have to rub it in. But literally, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe you just need to rest. You're tired, you're exhausted. but it was discipline. Getting there, I was moody, smiled, I was
Yeah.
moody. But after the session, I was like, I felt good.
Felt
My body needed
energized.
this, energized. So
Yeah.
it is discipline. And you have to give that to your kids, that if you don't have discipline, it's like with Salah, it's like
Yeah.
with everything in our life, you have to be disciplined.
Tell me, if listeners right now want to enroll or get their kids involved, both of you can tell me. Tell me more about your stuff.
So we have, depending on what they're looking for, but we have private sessions and we do group classes.
Okay.
Group classes are every day in the evening. Private sessions are just
So
time.
that's why you came late.
Yeah, I was stuck in a
Session.
class.
Yeah.
So they can. We have Instagram and Facebook if they want to check out some pictures and some of the group classes. We have a lot.
Can you
of
give them the?
video. I got the Instagram is at Jacqueline Hart MMA.
Wow.
They can check it out there. We post a lot of videos of our classes and some private sessions. So if they want to see before they just come and jump in, they can see what happens, how our
Yeah.
classes.
And you
are.
also come out too if it's like a request, if they want you to come to them
Yes,
personally.
I
Okay.
do some in-home training, or if they have a gym at home or somewhere, I can travel and I can help them there. So yeah, they just let me know. It's always depending on time and everyone's availability,
Yeah.
and then we can go from there and get started.
And Sunshine?
So Sunshine
You are,
Squad,
you know, you chose the perfect name. Sunshine. What would you say, Byron? Sunshine.
because girls are full of sunshine. But
I'm talking about you.
Oh, me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah.
Sunflowers are my
I don't
favorite
think I ever
flower.
saw you
Maybe
sad.
that's why.
I don't think I ever saw you sad.
You cry in the shower like an adult. No.
Yeah.
You gotta. You know what? I have had ups and downs in life,
Yeah.
and I think from a girl point of view, this is the reason why I want to have Sunshine Squad, because as a girl, growing up to be a woman one day, you want to feel strong.
Yeah.
And I felt really proud right now because my son posted the advert that you sent. And he's like, proud of you, mom. I was like, tick box, goal achieved. Because single mom, and I'm still getting it done with a smile on my face, but we have our hard
And you bake brownies too.
And you got to have the brownies with your coffee. Coffee's life. But with the Sunshine Squad, it's for the girls, the younger girls. And we're hoping to create an environment for them where they feel safe. And it's not just the exercise, it's speak to us if you need to share.
I know you were telling me the venue changes, like
Yes.
to places, either a park or a beach or something close to nature. That's so exciting.
It has to be outdoors. As much as we want our girls to be safe, we got to show them that this is the real world and these are the places in the world, and confidence is key. So Botanical Gardens was today, and Sophie, we're doing People Park next. Yeah, there we go. Sophie smiling, guys. And after that, it's probably the beach and also giving back. So for example, a beach cleanup, because got to keep our oceans clean, free woolly vibes. And then we'll keep changing and going, introducing obviously the teachers. I really want to include teachers because I feel we need it the most sometimes.
Yeah, true.
We love our kids, don't get me wrong. I love every single one of them. But when you've had 25 asking you the same thing, what
Times
page number are we
multiply
on,
it.
ma'am? Page 4, guys. But we need it for ourselves, and we have to. But
So for the listeners out there, if they are interested, or can you give them your details?
So we're going to have an Instagram page coming up. Sophie's in the process of making that. She's part of our admin team.
Yeah.
And you can contact me. We've sent our pictures and things, and you can message me as well. Can I send my number?
Yeah, sure.
So it's 082 554 2939.
And what I liked is, like in the holidays, your kids tend to be bored.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, there's an escape over here.
One mom asked, she's like, are you guys doing it on Wednesday and Thursday as well? I was like, I would love to, but my kids need me to drive them around for soccer practice.
Every afternoon, generally on a Tuesday when I come to radio, her dad takes her visiting because my sister's not far from me.
Okay.
My mother-in-law is not far from me. So that's the evening where they go gallivanting, as they call it. Today, she said, no, I'm too exhausted. I'm not going. I'm just
She
eating
needs
and I'm
me
sitting
time.
home. And we were like, wow, for real. It's for real. We can't believe it. So I think that also energizes, but also lets them calm
Just have
themselves.
a mellow afternoon.
Yeah, you will, because normally little ones are so hyped up.
My one starts his day at 5 a.m. because he has
Yeah.
hifz, and then it's school. And then we have it was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
By the time he's home, it's shower, eat, and I'm ready for bed. It's the best feeling though.
You know
'Cause
what?
I don't want to look at a screen, Mom. I'm just gonna go shower
But
and go
that's
to
a
bed.
teacher's life too.
True.
That's a teacher's life.
But we're gonna
true.
get teachers out there. They're gonna be
Okay.
part of the Sunshine Squad. They're
Inshallah.
gonna join us.
Your parting words, advice to the listeners out there.
Just, yeah, look after yourself physically, mentally. One of the best parts about training is just releasing some endorphins, feeling better about yourself. Do it for yourself. It's not about getting a six-pack and big biceps. It's about doing something so that you can live a life, that you're capable of doing things, capable of sitting down and getting back up, walking upstairs and not being out of breath. When terrible things come around like COVID, you don't want to be that person
Yeah.
getting sick, and you're going to wish, I wish I just looked after myself a little bit more, because the symptoms hit you a little bit harder when you're sick. I mean, when you're unfit. And yeah, do it for yourself.
And you started this during COVID.
During COVID,
Look at that, the
it
motivation.
was, that just got people going, like, gotta look after ourselves, gotta get fit, gotta get
But,
strong.
you know, it's like lots of people were just cooking, baking, feeding, knitting, crocheting, doing stuff like that. But you were like keeping fit.
Gotta,
You were keeping fit.
I was baking brownies. I think everybody needs to, and I totally agree with Byron that we want to be older and we want to be fit, like the sitting part, the standing part, and
that's the harsh reality. I love it. You're looking long-term goal.
it's not an instant, because we live in a culture where it's instant gratification and everything needs to be done now, and I want to feel good now all the time. But I'm not going to have one session in a week and then be like, okay, is there a six-pack? Because my boys tell me, Mom, that's a one-pack. You need to change it. But I'm getting there. Give me a year. Yeah. So it is a process. Nothing happens overnight. You have to put in the work. You got to take it from there and then grow with it.
Well, I'd like to thank Nasreen and Byron, both you guys, for taking the time. When your class was finished, you quickly came here. We need this in today's time. And looking forward to see where both these classes and both these clubs go. Thank you once again for coming all the way from Durban North and all the way from Phoenix.
Jazakallah.
To our port in the studios. And Byron found his way.
I found it.
You found it. You found it. Well, Jazakallah, thanks once again. I'd like to thank my guest for taking the time to come on School Matters, and also Mondli, our technician, for making the show possible. My email address is sumayakhan.alansar@outlook.com. One of the most valuable lessons your child will learn from sports is how to take risk, how to fail gracefully, and ultimately how to succeed by overcoming failure. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I cannot accept not trying. Assalamu alaikum.
Subhanallah,